What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This your neighborhood Hope Dealer Crook Brown, and this is episode 6 of How to Write a Rap. You know, before we get into it, we got to take care of some business. The song you hear in the background is BMW off my project Inspired by True Events. Definitely gonna drop a story this week about BMW. All right, so let's get into it, man. I asked something in my group chat today. I asked, what do you expect from an MC that makes them better? And the number one I think I got was consistency. See, I think a lot of people focus on making raps that are clever, or making raps that got all these bars, or making raps that stand out like this and stand out like that, and all that's great. But if you're not consistent with it, it don't matter. People will only wait for you for so long, is what I mean by that. If you're not constantly dropping music, if you're not constantly putting out different content, then how can a person stay up to date with what you got going on? And I think a lot of artists get into this slump where emotionally they are not available or they are not there. And so that affects them mentally, and they can't write, or they get writer's block, or they're not consistent. But one thing my partner told me was, and I've taken this to heed as I'm working on my next project, is while you're in the creative space, stay creative. While you're in the creative space, stay creative, because there will be a time when you're not creative, and when you're not creative, it's going to be hard to write. You know, if you're not doing something every day like I'm doing a freestyle every day, and it's been beneficial for me because it's helped me stay consistent, one, but it's also sharpened my skills in the same breath. But I think a lot of artists get caught up in making the best music instead of making music. And not to say you should put out trash, or you should create trash, but sometimes you don't know what's going to be received well. Put your all into it. Don't be overly critical. Let other people hear it, because even though you may not be a big fan of the song, let other people hear it. It did come from you, so it is speaking from a place. I could say if somebody wrote it for you or something like that, but if you wrote your rhymes, which I hope you wrote your rhymes, let people hear it, because they may have some critiques to it to make the song that much better. But you'll never get there if you never lay it down. And you don't always have to complete a song every time you record. It's just about the practice of being consistent, of staying in the grind, having perseverance, because those things are what's going to make you successful. Now, success is going to be on different levels, depending on how people receive you, how much your songs do in the streaming platform, social media, Web3, whatever avenue that you're taking. But the one thing you want to do is stay consistent. I mean, when you look at Lil Wayne, he's had one of the best runs ever. Why? Simply because consistency. Tupac, he has a catalog that's almost unmatched when we're talking about volume, simply because of consistency. Drake dropped consistently. While Kendrick and Cole, they take their time. They have a consistent theme. When they drop, they go hard and they get out the way. But Drake drops with frequency. He's always on a remix. He's always doing a feature. He's always doing this or doing that. Outside of just the music, of his own personal music, he's staying consistent. One thing I can say is that consistency will lend you to finding that sound. When you look at Future, he puts out a bunch of material. All of it may not be the greatest, in some people's opinion, but then he gonna find them ones. He gonna find the ones that everybody resonate with. Why? Simply because he's consistent. He's frequent. He's always around. And the more irons you put in the fire, the more you have a chance of catching smoke. That's just what it is. So I would say the artists be consistent, because consistency is gonna take you a long way. So I want to know, who do you think are some of the most consistent rappers ever? And who do you think is the most consistent rapper of this era, of this time period? And what do you do to stay consistent? Tap in with me, man. Again, don't let me talk to myself. This your boy Crook Brown. Check me out on all streaming platforms at Crook Brown, on all social media platforms. And I'll see you guys next week. This is episode 6 of How to Write a Rap.